I think we should just get into it, to be honest. Just get straight into introducing ourselves and then explaining where the name came from.
Yeah. Do you want me to introduce?
Yeah, go for it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast. It's me, Champ, and I'm with a very close friend of mine, Josh.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm very good, pal. How are you doing?
I'm alright. Cheers.
Good. How about we explain where the name of this podcast come from?
Alright. In simple terms,
Yeah.
just as a quick little intro before we really get into the
Cheeky intro.
juicy stuff.
Cheeky.
Quickly, 2018 at camp in America, Champ and I met each other. And at camp, what they do every night before the kids go to sleep, something called cabin chat, where it's an opportunity for the campers to chat to the counsellors about anything really. Depends what the cabin chat is about. And we've just stolen that name and used it for ourselves.
Hopefully we don't get copyrighted for it.
No, we shouldn't really, hopefully.
Brilliant. Okay, I feel like, as we just talked about cabin chat, we should just move straight back into camp in general.
Let's start with how we met.
Yeah, the place of our birth. It's friendship.
Not sure it's our birth, but...
Yeah, our friendship's birth.
Our friendship's birth is probably better. Yeah, go on, you can...
Before we get into like
today,
full camp, we should talk about like where we met. So it begins on the lower soccer field. Am I correct?
That's right. I think it was the lower soccer field. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were all having a kick about. I've seen myself as a sort of football prodigy, and I don't know about Josh, but we met on the staff soccer field having a kick around. That's where all the boys who are sporty tend to meet, innit? Playing football, getting to know each other.
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a few of us there. We just had a bit of a kick around. I knew no one. Came by myself. Everyone was a stranger. The first couple of words, thanks. The first couple of words someone uttered to me were, "You're actually quite good," which I thought, okay, that's
at football.
Seems a bit backhanded, but yeah, but whatever, because I clearly don't look like I'm good, but I'm class.
You got that Lionel Messi-esque. How about it?
Well, because I'm short. Yeah, fine. All right, Peter Crouch.
Okay, so let's we met there, and then formed this very strong friendship, I feel, for the next 3 years.
Yeah, because it started off really strong because we worked in the same unit, didn't we?
Yeah, like our unit that we worked in at camp was sophomore unit, which was the ages of 9 to
11ish.
Yeah, that's right. Which is a hard unit, and you really have to get to know your co's and the other counsellors in there to actually have fun, because the kids are so rowdy. It's crazy.
Rowdy, but they can be sweet. Your kids were good first year, weren't they?
Yeah, they were very
good.
Very, very good. So as we've talked about like how we met, I feel like we should talk about the whole account now.
Yeah, I mean, we may as well dive straight into it. So I guess we can start off.
I feel like we should.
Place to start.
And I feel like we should talk about how we applied.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's start right from the beginning. Let's talk about how we applied. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
The only reason I actually decided to go to camp was because last minute, whilst all the applications were going through different companies, I kind of lied to a friend and was like, "Yeah, I'm going to camp," even though I wasn't. My sister had done it a few years before. Not
why?
A different one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was being weird. I don't know.
Fair.
And then, so I nearly applied to be into the same camp as my other mates, which was in Maine, I think. And then my sister advised me to go by myself because it'll be tough at the beginning, but it will get amazing. So I listened to the advice, and luckily I got to decide what camp out of a few of them, and I saw Berkshire Hills I looked on their website, and I picked them, and I went through my company, and that's basically how I went to our camp.
That's interesting. Where did your sister go?
Can't remember the name, but it was somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Ah, a little bit different. It's different down there. Very different.
Yeah.
But how I applied was, my friend from home that I've known for a very long time, since we were like 8, I think we were. We used to go scouts together. Which don't take the mic, please.
Scouts.
Yeah, we used to go scouts together.
I never knew that.
My friend of mine, Connor, I've known him for a long time, scouts and stuff, yeah. And then one year, I think it was 2017, he went to camp as soon as he turned 18. And he just told me how brilliant it was. I saw like all the photos and I was just stuck at home working. And I just saw him having a brilliant time. I was like, I want to do that. And I asked him, is he going back next summer to do it? And he said, yeah, I'll help you apply. So I didn't apply through Camp America or any of the agencies like Camp Leaders. I applied straight
Right.
through because the one that's linked to camp is what is it, JCUSA, Jewish Camps USA.
There's just many of them. Like, there's quite a few JCUSA. I went through JCUSA,
Yeah,
and there's about 10 both years. 10 people who went through them.
yeah.
Ish, maybe more.
Well, I applied straight through the camp website because it was easy and it was more direct, as my friend said. So I did that, and then next thing you know, I got a interview, and then I think it was like 4 or 5 months later, I ended up going camp.
Oh yeah, my interview process was terrible. I think Jen told me that she only hired me at the time because she felt a bit sorry for me because of how bad the interview went.
Oh my
She's-
god, what did you say?
No,
What
no,
what
no.
happened?
I didn't say it started off so badly. Everyone has a Skype interview. We started off. She was in the office, and first of all, I couldn't hear a thing she was saying because everyone was
Oh
being so
yeah,
loud.
they were in the office for me as
So-
well.
Yeah, so I couldn't hear a thing. And then she moved outside where the service was terrible, so it kept cutting out. And then she went back into the office and back outside, and nothing worked. She thought I was a bit too serious at the time. Like, she told a few of like Avatar and things that I was really serious. But then
What did she tell Avital about this when we got to camp?
yeah,
okay.
there was like, or maybe before, I don't know, because we went through the same organisation. But then, yeah, so she hired me. She said it was a great decision on a whim that she did, and here we are today.
How nervous were you before the interview? Because I
Oh
was
mate, I was
sweating.
so nervous, unnecessarily as well.
Yeah, same. Like it was the most chill interview I've like. Obviously not for you because you said yours was stressful, but for me it was so chilled out. Like, I think Jen sort of like thought I was like a sporty someone who can like go out and speak to people because I'm pretty much what is it, socialite? Is that the word? Like
Yeah,
I can,
you're a socialite.
yeah, I can like speak to people easy. So when it come to the interview, I was just chatting to her about my university and everything I do, and she was like completely happy with how I was acting with her. So I got it straight away. As soon as I ended the call, she give me the contract.
Beautiful. So the way mine worked was, as I said, all that kind of thing went on with the lack of calling and service and things. But we had the odd sentence in there where I felt like such a knob for saying it.
What did
But,
you say?
She was like, so what kind of things do you like to do in your spare time? And I was like, well, recently I've actually started to teach myself how to play guitar.
Oh.
And then she was like, okay, so what kind of things? And I was like, oh, just pretty much just Oasis right now. Like,
Did she ask you to
Back in Anger
play?
and Wonderwall.
Please
No,
don't.
she didn't.
I thought that's where you were going. I thought that was the line you were going on.
No. And she was like, oh, funny you should say those two songs because we sing those songs every Friday.
Oh.
No, every Saturday, I should say. And I was like, and that was when it clicked. I was like, oh my god, I've got to go here. I was
Really?
very obsessed with Oasis at the time. I obviously still like them, but it was a bit unhealthy at the time. But now I'm just very happy I made the decision.
Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't in the interview. There wasn't anything that was stood out to me. I thought it was a little bit cringy at the start. I felt because I'm not. I may find it easy to speak to people, but all the stuff that they were talking about, like singing and all that, like dancing with the kids and all that, I just thought, Jesus, this straight up isn't me right now.
Yeah, you do have to let go of your inhibitions. I think the word is like, for some people it's just not for them. There are some people that are just not camp. They can't let loose and settle in.
Yeah.
And as you say, do the dancing and the singing. But for me, I wasn't like that either. But I don't think you were at the beginning either. But once we just settled in, got comfortable, that was it. Like, it was fine. It was actually probably the funnest part. Saturdays, wasn't it, with the ice cream and the dancing and the singing?
Oh, yeah.
In the dining hall.
I feel like. What was your flight like getting there? What was it like getting there for you? Like first time meeting people at the airport?
I didn't do that. I
What
came
did
by
you do?
myself. I had because I don't know. The organisation I went through, they didn't buy my flights, but they advised me on what flights to do. For some reason, they didn't tell me the same as other people's flights. Don't know why. I think maybe there was only one other person from London, and they were going out a few days before. Everyone else was from like Manchester or Leeds or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, I flew by myself. I was so nervous. Landed, barely said a word to anyone. On the coach on the way to camp, barely said a word to anyone. I remember sitting behind someone.
Who did you sit next to?
I sat next to Ishan. He was very nice.
Oh yeah, he was a
Okay,
loud
the whole
one though.
The whole thing started badly. Like, on the plane journey there, I got a nosebleed. Don't know why. I didn't get nosebleeds, but it happened. And I was sat in a row of 4, but it was me, blank seat, and then someone else. And I had no tissues. I was just sat there with my nose in my hand, bleeding,
How long for?
probably to death. What?
All the way there?
No. It was only like I was asleep or like nearly asleep, and I just felt myself needing to like sniff. You know, when
That's
when your nose is
scary,
running.
that is.
So I sniffed and nothing. It just didn't work, which means oh great, it's nosebleed time. So I just looked over at this woman as if to say like, help. It just
Help me.
didn't help. So I had to like get my tray up and then get out with my hand on my face, go to the bathroom and sort myself out, and it was awful. And then I landed, as I said, didn't speak to anyone on the coach journey. But during the coach journey, same thing happened. Nosebleed. Ishan was so nice, bless him. He was like shouting around to everyone, get me a tissue, blah blah blah. So that was fine, but I still felt very uncomfortable.
Were you
didn't
on
know
it?
anyone.
Because what happened for me was me and Connor got there. We travelled together because like I didn't really know what I was doing. It was the first time, essentially by myself, out of like in another country that's really really far away. But like as soon as I got there, I felt like this sense of, oh my gosh, this is like new. I've never done this before. I'm really really nervous now. And me and Connor got there late. We got there like 2 hours after I'm guessing you're on the first coach.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the first coach left to go to camp from the airport, and then we just got there as it left. So me and Connor and a few other lads, Tristan and Tom, we were there for another 6 hours at the airport.
That's rough.
Well, yeah, it was real. It was horrible. Like we just spent all our money getting like Fanta and Dunkin' Donuts, and it just ruined my stomach. But at that point, we got very close friends with that Tristan and Tom, who were ended up being like really close friends with for the rest of the summer. But like, yeah, the bus journey was long as well. I think it was like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy going from the
rough.
city to the countryside as well.
Yeah, but it's different though because I guess it was different for me and you because obviously I was in a full coach, and as I said, I lacked confidence so much. I didn't know a single person, and like even the people I'd met, when I'd met them previously on like training days in the UK, I was very awkward. Didn't speak to a single one of them because again, lack of confidence. So I don't really speak to any of them. But the majority of people were being loud. Like all the returners were being loud.
I know exactly
which is
what
fine,
you mean.
obviously, like in a good way. Like they were being lively and just chatting. They were being normal. And I was sat by the window. I felt a bit trapped. My nose was bleeding. I was trying to sleep. It was just a terrible time. It was, it wasn't great. But again, that passed. People made the effort eventually. I made the effort to make friends with people. I met a couple of people on the first day, and I kind of made.
Yeah,
I was friends
let's
with
move on to
one of them for the
orientation.
entire summer. Yeah.
So yeah, you got to camp, and then first couple of days, what were you like?
Again, awkward, quiet. Spoke to a couple of people in my bunk during orientation. I can't actually remember exactly, but it kind of just slowly escalated until I became more confident as I became friends with more people.
Yeah.
So I became friends with a couple of the girls like Avatar and Lauren, and then I became friends with you and Luca and Tristan and the rest of the boys. And then as soon as I felt like I had a proper group, I would say, then it was all fine. It was fine from then on.
Yeah, for me, after we got off the coach to camp, like we went and got some food, and I felt it was a bit eerie because obviously you don't know anyone and you're all sat in this dinner hall. It's not like school where you're sat in the dinner hall and you sort of know everyone. I didn't know anybody, and I was forced to, like, they put you in a seating plan as well, which is kind of weird. Like certain tables have certain people on it, and it was really awkward sitting with them and not knowing what was gonna like I've got to get to know these people, which was pretty scary. And then we went back to the bunk, slept, and then that began orientation, which is
it feels weird at the beginning because you kind of think, how on earth am I going to become friends with these people?
Yeah, and that's what I was scared about because before camp I didn't see myself as a person that could talk to many people.
Me too.
And then as soon as you're placed in this bunk, they call them the living quarters at camp. You're stuck with these people. You have to stay in the same room as and sleep literally next to them because the living areas are pretty small. you just get to know him. You do your cabin chat, wink, wink,
Yeah.
and
Oh
then
yeah, you do. Yeah, actually, that's true. Cabin chat wasn't just at the end of the day with the campers; it was during orientation with all the counsellors as well.
yeah,
So that was a really good opportunity to get to know people. And I've got to say, as much as you can criticise it for being a bit cringy with the campers, which it can be cringy, it was so useful. It was so because some
yeah.
people, some of the returners, like if you have, I don't know how they divide it. I'm sure there's one leadership person within your bunk during orientation. That person will always take the responsibility. Like I had Andy for example, he was MC of junior unit, and he opened up a lot to us, and it made us all feel really comfortable.
Oh yeah,
So it was crucial, I think, for people to become comfortable with everyone else.
I completely agree. I had Drew in mind, and he really changed my camp experience. Like as soon as when I was there, as I said, I was like a bit nervous, felt a bit eerie, a bit scared. I didn't want to speak to people. But then when we did I think it was third night of orientation, we started cabin chat, and Drew came in and he was like, "Yo, like." He was an American. He's been there for like 7-8 years. He was like, "Yo, let's get down and start like speaking. This is cabin chat. This is how you let loose and we get to know each other." And then we did like this random topic. I think it was about conspiracies or something weird. And everybody just said their piece. Even the guy in the corner that I hadn't heard a word from him for the first couple of days. I thought he was in mute. He just didn't say anything. And then
Who was it?
Harry. Oh, well,
Harry was the nicest guy.
we'll cut out the last bleep his last name.
If I pick it up when I do it.
Yeah, but yeah, he was really quiet at the start, and then Drew came in and we started talking, getting to know each other using cabin chat. But this also can lead on to something else that happened in camp as well, and that was the like inter-staff games, like hockey and soccer, which gets introduced in orientation. So what did you think of staff soccer when it started?
It was tough because there were some good players.
Oh yeah, like everybody at camp. Every staff member wants to like do something because they don't want to be bored. Because camp can be boring when you're not doing anything.
If you don't do anything, don't make the effort. It's boring.
And everybody comes to watch staff soccer. Like even the girls, even people that don't really watch. It's just a nice socialising.
All the girls take part as well, don't they?
Yeah, everybody takes part. Like nobody really cares if you're good or bad. You just
except when it comes down to picking the team, obviously.
Oh,
the captains want to get the best players, but even if like you're lower down the pick list on the draft, they don't care. Like you can be whatever standard. Like you're going to be put in a team, and it's really fun.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Like it's a brilliant way to get to know people as well. Staff soccer, especially in orientation at the start.
Yeah, definitely.
Because obviously some people are selected as captains, but we'll explain that later. But they're selected as captains to pick teams later on in camp. But they're there checking out every player, making sure, seeing who's good, seeing who's bad, seeing who can be like their first pick, second pick, so on and so forth. But like in orientation, all the girls play. Like without, it's a mess around.
Well, the
really.
ones who want to play, will play. Like there's none of this like. If you're a lad, you're not going to be like, you're not going to play because you're a girl. Like, and everyone, if you want to play, will play.
Yeah, because I remember in the first staff soccer, I got put on a terrible team. It was absolutely terrible. I was like, they didn't. Do you know when you pick numbers? Like,
yeah.
I got picked first, and I thought, here we go, come on, pick number. The captain who picked me, I was like, pick number 11, and I just got this guy he said he played in goal, but he was small, stocky. And he was what was his name? I'm trying to think of his name. Or whatever. And he was not very good at all. And then we just kept on picking terrible players. And our team got smacked like 6-0.
Stocky goalkeeper.
He didn't end up playing. He didn't end up playing when we did in camp.
Was he a counsellor? Or was
yeah,
he like
counsellor.
Cleaning staff?
Oh no, he was cleaning stuff. He was part of the maintenance stuff. Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yes, it was the blonde one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was putting goal and he was terrible, but yeah. But then again, I was getting angry at these players, but I was getting to know them as well. Like it's really weird. It's hard to explain how games like that, how playing football with the rest of camp gets you to know them. But it's hard to explain, but it's brilliant.
Yeah, the fun fact about my staff soccer experience is that the only ever time I scored a goal during staff soccer was the first year orientation set of games, when it wasn't even proper staff soccer. That was just like the warm up before everyone got put into a team.
You
That's the only
underrate
time I scored a
yourself.
goal.
You underrate
Well, that's the
yourself.
only time I scored a goal.
Was it a good goal?
It was top bins and it was the winner of the match.
Oh,
but
God.
who's counting?
My man. But yeah, I feel like we should move on to Actually, I think we should move on to the Americans getting here.
Yeah, okay, that's an interesting one. So about a week after the internationals arrive, and you're all starting to get settled. People are becoming friends. Some people are getting even closer friends. I don't know, maybe a little camp relationship starts to
Oh yeah,
blossom.
yeah, a little bit of blossom here and there.
But then a pile driver, a gunshot is heard. Well, not a physical one, metaphorically. all the American staff members
Who've
come to
been
camp
there
and
years and years.
they all know each other. They also know the returners as well. So suddenly, let's say it's 50% returner, 50% new of internationals. Suddenly, all the American comes, and now it's 75% returners, 25% new, and you feel really outnumbered. But you're starting to know a few people.
Yeah.
And it's a lot at the beginning, but soon enough, the majority of the Americans are very nice, very welcoming.
Yeah.
And it helps. It does help with because orientation can get a bit boring. Like we're doing the same activities maybe for the 6th day that we did on the first day. It needs a bit of a spice. A bit of spice needs to be added, and then all the Americans come, and you have a bunch of new people to become friends with and get to know.
Yeah, it's mad. Like when you see because the Americans don't all come together like we did on a bus. They all get here one by one, driving their cars because they all sort of live local.
Yeah, they've got Jeeps, 4x4s, a lot of them.
Yeah, and then they get here, and people who've been at camp before know them, so they can easily speak to them like, "Hey, bro, how you doing? I've missed you. I haven't seen you in ages." And then you start seeing groups to form again, like groups that weren't there when just the international staff were here, which is it's a bit weird because you feel like you have to start to settle in again. I remember in first summer I felt like I had to settle in again because all these Americans were here, and I felt sort of patronised by them because they all knew everything. They knew what was going on, and I didn't have a clue. I was clueless to what camp was about in reality. But then
and there's a few characters in there. There's a few characters who are really loud, which is fine. Like that is just another personality of camp. There's someone who's really loud, really funny. Some people are quiet, but you need the really loud ones. And if you see the really loud ones, Americans, the really loud Americans at the beginning, you're thinking, oh Jesus, every single one of them is going to be like this, and it's going to be horrendous. But it's not. There's a perfect balance of people, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like yeah, when the Americans get here, you get the different groups and stuff, but that's when you start seeing the camp culture come out. Like that's when you start seeing everything change, and you're like, okay, here's where it begins now. It's
because there's more people taking part in, like your songs, campfires. There's like a little campfire talent show kind of thing a day before camp starts. I think this is after all the Americans.
Oh
it's
yeah,
either the first day the American arrives, or the day before the camp.
No, because people get to practice. Sure. I remember.
Yeah, so but that was good. I made a lot of friends on that night actually, first time round. It's just they camps succeed in creating a friendly environment very quickly.
Oh, when you get there, you're scared. You don't know what to do. But 5-6 days in, you feel like you've been there a month, and you've got these friends that you call like your best friends straight away. It's insane. But that then comes along the big hitter, and that's when the kids get here.
Right. Okay. Just before we get into the kids, I need to mention one more quick thing.
Go on.
For the first few days of why camp was so bad for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I was ill and basically bedridden.
Oh yeah, you were sick.
As soon as I recovered, and I was out, boom! What happened to nosebleed? Another nosebleed. I don't know why.
Are you prone to nosebleeds?
Not at all. That's why it was so weird.
Did you think you maybe had some like brain tumour or something?
That's a bit morbid. That's
just my hypochondria coming out here.
The first thing I thought was, the plane pressure.
Yeah, but you've been
that was probably what it was.
Yeah, but you've been there.
The altitude.
A couple of days, when you.
Yeah, so whatever. Anyway, so as you say, the next big hitter, the kids arriving. Now that was a terribly awkward experience for me.
100%, man. As soon as the kids get here, camp changes again. It goes from international staff, you're getting to know each other. To American staff, you're getting to know each other again. To how many kids turn up? Thousands, something like that.
Loads. Not many, surely
I'm
not.
trying to think, like 500 something.
I don't know, to be honest, but there's a mixture of. No, there's a very number of kids per.
There's loads. There's hundreds.
Yeah, so there's like, I don't know how many kids, 24 kids for the freshmen who are the youngest kids, and then there's about, I can't do maths now, 90-ish, maybe more kids for sophomore, probably more, and then about the same, maybe slightly more for junior, and then another 50 or so for senior, who are the oldest kids. So there's a lot of kids to come.
And the American staff, leadership staff, a few of them get here.
Yeah, that's true.
Just before that as well, which we didn't really touch on, but it don't really matter because they come in like a bunch with the American normal staff.
They do their own thing.
Yeah, but that, like when the kids first got here, I was put on the front gate to like.
I refused to do that. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it either, but I felt like I couldn't say no to the director of the camp.
Oh yeah, fair. If he asked you.
Yeah, he was like, "Champ, you're a good talker. You can go and stand on the gates if you want and greet people." I was like,
well, to be honest,
that
does show the impact you had. That does show it.
Yeah, first summer I was good at like talking, and that was all I was.
We'll
good
get
at.
into that later on.
That was all I was good at. But
so for me, I couldn't do it. We had one returner in my bunk, and he went and did it. He wasn't the best counsellor. He wasn't bad, but he was okay. But he did.
Who was it?
No names, because there's potential. I potentially just was a bit rude, so no names.
Okay.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
I'll tell you after. So we had one returner. And
I know. Okay, I know. Don't worry.
Yeah. So like he was okay. Like he was harmless. He was fine. So he did the hard work at the beginning, getting all the kids settled.
He was proving himself, wasn't he? He was trying to prove himself. Was he a returner?
Well, I mean, yeah, he was, yeah. But then what happened next when all the kids started to come and you started to sit down within your own bunks? To be honest, even in second year was hard, but it was slightly easier. First year, I think the majority of my boys didn't even know each other. A lot of the time, kids know each other, but a lot of mine didn't.
Yeah.
So we had to introduce them to each other and then to us, considering there was 3 new counsellors for the boys to meet. No, two new ones. One of them was a JC, so which is a first year counsellor who is an American, and he was a bit useless as well. So effectively, it's all the kids meeting for the first time, all the counsellors meeting the kids for the first time, and at the beginning it was just silence. I know it sounds bad, but we played a bit of games and we got into it eventually, but it was rough.
It's like when we met the staff for the first time. You don't know what to say, what to do. It's a scary experience for kids and staff meeting new people.
Absolutely, and then you look back at it now, and you think, it's weird how I didn't know them then. It's really, I know it sounds stupid, but for me and you, how close we are now, I can't even imagine meeting you for the first time and not knowing you.
I know,
it's weird.
I'm pretty sure we met before staff soccer, you know. I don't know where or how.
We probably did.
We must have had like a chat, because in orientation, obviously jumping back to it, you do a load of get to know each other games. They kind of get annoying after a while, but they're essential, I guess.
They are very essential.
You're forced to get to know someone else, which you don't really remember. I remember in my first summer getting to know, I think her name was she the Australian girl?
That's right. Yeah.
She just didn't want to speak to me. I have no idea why.
Oh, this is funny. So one of the so this was a returner who was a lifeguard for my first year. We got put in pairs with returners. I don't actually remember her name, but we had a very brief conversation. But this was the worst impression I could have got for the new people at camp, because we spoke. It was a little activity where we need to say 3 things about ourselves, and then the other person will present it to everyone. So, for example, let's say, this is Champ, he's 22, whatever, 21, I don't know. I don't even know how old you are, but I'll say that to everyone. So she saw I was wearing an Apple Watch, and then I said I'd like to play tennis, and then the first thing she did was roll her eyes and went, snob.
That's crazy. Like, well, was that in the first couple of days?
Yes, so that was one of the first experiences I had with a returner. So what was I meant to think? Like, the main returner in my bunk started off as a nice person, but like he was a kind person, but he was a bit of a liar. He had that aura about him of just being a liar. And then he went off and hung around with the returners again. So the first few days, I'd say, with the returners wasn't great, but it was fine. I think, again, this is just jumping again to second year. We'll go back to first year in a second. But I think it reflects well on us when we were returners, that we made the first years comfortable and included them quite quickly, I think.
Yeah. Because you didn't feel like you had that, did you, first summer?
Not at all, no.
Yeah.
They didn't try.
That's good.
So yeah, we'll jump back to first year. Back to when the kids arrived.
Oh yeah, that's where we were.
Yeah, tangents are crazy.
Well, yeah, my kids got here, and I'm trying to think who I was code with. Oh, I was code with Ben, Ellie, and Jay, who was a program staff. Each bunk has a program staff. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I thought you were bunk 6.
No, I was bunk 8.
I forgot you were bunk 8. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was with them 3, but the Americans, who were Ben and Ellie, they were really helpful because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I didn't really understand how it worked. So they did all the getting to know each other, which I also helped with. But they were like main instigators of the kids getting to know each other, as well as us getting to know them, which was that really helped me. Like the American staff for me were brilliant in first summer, like helping me get to know the kids and get to know other staff, which is good. So yeah, they helped me a lot at the start. It was really awkward with the kids, though. You were right there.
But I think soon enough, after you go around with them, do some of their activities with them, it kind of, the rapport with them and the relationship you get, it just builds very quickly.
Yeah, matter of days, matter of like a couple of nights, you staying under the same roof as them, you start like forming a bond with them because you're living in such a close proximity. Obviously, you're not right next to them because the staff have their own living quarters, but
yeah,
you're living in the
close,
same
but you're
roof.
not stupidly close.
So yeah, and then this leads to activities, first day activities, which go on for the rest of the summer.
Literally, no idea what the activities were, but how the structure of the day basically is. This is just for if you're a normal counsellor, not for a program staff member, because I don't actually know what they do hour by hour.
That's a different
ball game.
Yeah,
completely. But you wake up whatever time it is, can't remember. Go to breakfast, come back, cabin clean up.
Mm-hmm.
Just get your kids to clean up as much as they can. Like, if assign different jobs, they'll do it because that's what they know. That's what they know camp to be. Everyone else does it. There's not real many issues there. You might get the odd kid who doesn't like to clean his area or her area, but they will eventually. And then you go off to your first 3 activities, which last just over 3 hours because of the gaps in between, and then lunch.
Luncheon.
3. Yeah, lunch, then rest hour, and then it's. Then what? Oh, then it's hobbies.
Yeah, hobbies is this is where general counsellors and program staff sort of link up, because other than that, you don't really hang around much with the. Well, you do hang around with them. You don't really spend that much time. Really. You don't really spend much time with the program staff because we have different days off. We have the same nights off, but we have different days off, which is it's hard to get to know some of the program stuff when it's like that. But when it comes to hobbies, before camp happens, this is like a little jump back. Before camp happens, you pick 3 things that you'd like to help teach to the kids. And I think I picked.
You know what? I'm gonna just jump in before you get into that. Right, I'm going to get you to explain your hobby experience. We'll briefly explain. So, as Champ said, you pick your own hobby and you get it allocated, and then you do, in the afternoon, you do 1 hour on. You do 1 hour when you're helping, teaching that, wherever it is. I did soccer, football. And then the other hour you get to either nap or go into the staff lounge, just chill. You can do whatever you want, basically, but you've got to help out in another capacity, but whatever. That's not really relevant for now. Now, Champ...
Do you want me to talk about this? Because I don't really. This this is one of the worst
We don't need to mention
experiences.
any names or anything
Oh
like
yeah,
that. It's
no.
just
Basically,
it was just a bit of a
I
funny
applied.
experience.
I applied for. My first choice was football. My second choice was biking, and my third choice was archery.
Right.
So I didn't get football because there was a few other better footballers than me.
I got my first choice.
What did you
No,
pick?
I don't think it was based on. I chose football as my first choice, and I got it.
Ah, what the hell, man? That's mental. Like, I didn't get football because I don't know why. I didn't get biking. A bit confused about, but I got archery. I only put archery down because I thought it's funny. I don't mind doing that. It'll be a laugh. But when I went to my first hobby, oh no, before in orientation I got sent to a training day where they taught archery at this different camp, and I thought, what have I got myself into here? I didn't realise that this is what I had to do, and I had to go this training day with another member of staff. I'm not gonna drop any names. She's an alright girl, but she was just a bit. She was a bit militant. She was.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good word to describe because she was a harmless person,
Yeah,
just very different to you.
Sweet girl, but she was really militant. She went there with me and she didn't speak to me at all on the way, and I was with one of the leadership who was kind of weird, and I was just thought this has got to be the worst day of my life. It's got to be at camp. Not my life. My worst day at camp.
She also didn't listen. No, sorry. She won't be listening to this, I'd assume. And if she did, that would be the biggest shock ever.
Yeah, whatever. She was. I didn't really get to know her that well.
I'm not sure if she was friends with anyone really.
She had a few.
Anyway,
that lifeguard girl that she was friends with.
Yeah, fine, right. We're not going to get into this because it's not unkind. It's It's vicious.
Well, I was doing archery and she didn't let me shoot any of the bows. She didn't let me.
The arrows.
Yeah, whatever. Safe. I don't care anymore.
That training went well.
Yeah, the training went terrible. I didn't hit a single target.
Jeez.
She didn't let me shoot any of the arrows. She didn't let me play around at all. It was like having a drill sergeant. It was crazy.
But, so just a reminder that this drill sergeant kind of person was a regular staff member. No leadership, nothing. First year, regular staff member.
And she bought, this is the weird thing as well, she bought a bow from home. All the way from, I think she was from sort of north of England. She bought a massive bow. It looked like some type of alien plasma rifle or something. It was crazy. It was huge, and she bought it in this big suitcase. She must have paid an extra 70 quid just to bring it there. And every morning, like, she could be seen shooting their targets all the way from the boathouse, which was, I don't know how many meters that is from their targets. But she'd hit it every time. She was a brilliant archer, to be fair, but
practice makes perfect.
She was there every day, every morning. And when I got to hobbies that afternoon, I think she just had enough of like people's shit, and she just hated on me all the way through it because I just wasn't good at archery.
And you were letting it known to everyone that you were not having a good time, and I think she probably cottoned on to that as well.
Really, what was I saying? Oh my god, I feel terrible. What was I saying?
It became a bit of a joke.
Oh yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, Champ loves archery."
Even to the person who sorts out all the activities, he made it a joke in second year.
Yeah.
When we were finding out our hobbies, he was like, "Champ, archery."
Oh,
and then
when he said that, this is just a quick fast forward, little future jump. When the adventure head or whatever he is, leader or something, I don't know. He said, "Oh, Champ, you're going to be going to do this archery training again." I literally, my face dropped. I thought, I'm going to pack my bags right now. I'm going home. I don't want to do this. This is completely.
It was
out
such
of
a good
order.
one. It was a very, very good joke.
I was in a bad mood anyway that day, but we'll get onto that later.
Oh yeah, we'll get onto that. And then I don't think there's much else to cover really. Like halfway through camp, it's the end of first session.
You have little inter-camp games like College Olympics, which just gets all the camp involved for 2 days, where you just do some activities. Camp competes against each other, set into 4 teams. That was in first session. But yeah, other than that, nothing. A few trips maybe happen.
Yeah,
but nothing
a few
serious.
little things here and there. But like those are the kind of things you'd expect. And then halfway through the summer, at the end of the first session, some kids leave, or kids leave after 2 weeks if they want to, and then 4 weeks and 6 weeks, whatever. but the main bulk of the kids who leave is between first and second session, and that's another change because you could potentially get 12 new kids. You probably won't. Chances are you won't.
Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure you got very, very lucky.
Oh yeah.
In first summer.
Right. Okay. So this is what I think this might have been
lucky
1B.
Man.
So as I said, those first 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, people go home because there was just not many kids that signed up that year. How did it work? Oh yeah. So all of my kids after 2 weeks, first 2 weeks, went home because that's what they signed up for. So the 2 weeks after, I think it was about 10 days actually. For 10 days after, I had no kids. I had nothing. I still had to work. I had to go around with another bunk.
You came around with my bunk.
Champs for a bit. Yeah, I went around with Champs bunk for a bit. Got to know their kids a little bit, and then. But to be fair, I completely lucked out because I got to nap quite a bit. When I was obviously I was still working hobbies, but I can nap during like rest hour.
Normally so
the counsellors have to look after. Yeah, the counsellors have to look after the kids during.
That didn't happen last summer.
It's the kids' rest hour. No. Last summer it was completely full, and I got. Some of my kids changed, but a lot of my kids were full summer kids. But yeah, that's not going to happen. Basically, that was an unheard of thing. I got really lucky, and it was incredible.
That's why you've had 2 really good summers, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky in 2 different ways. How I got lucky in the second summer, I won't go into because it's not going to happen for anyone, and it wasn't against the rules, but I'm sure leadership knew, but if they really, really knew, it would be a bit frowned upon.
Yeah.
It's not against the rules because everything that happened was voluntary. I'm not going to get into it, but everything that happened was voluntary. Nothing was forced. Okay, that sounds really weird.
I know.
I need to say what it was. I need to say what it was now. Okay, one of my co's took our ODs. An OD is when one counsellor stays in the bunk to look after the kids while they sleep. That happens about once, twice a week. I don't know how often because I never did. I think I did 1 OD for the entire summer last year. Normally you do about 10. Is that right?
Yeah.
Around then, I don't know how. As I say, I didn't do any, so I don't know the real number. But one of my co's just didn't like going out, seeing friends.
He just wanted to sit and read
on his nights off. Yeah. If he had his nights off, then obviously we would take turns because we weren't going to stop him. We didn't stop him having nights and days off. But when it was an actual OD night for one of ours, we would write our names down, but then he would just sit it for us, which is not against the rules, but whatever. It was a very nice gesture of him to do. Anyway, I've forgotten the point of what I was talking about.
How good your second summer was. How lucky you were.
Right, yeah. So So after that happens, the kids swap after the first session, mainly.
Yeah.
And then we move on to an activity called Colour War. Not an activity, it's an event.
Before Colour War, you get the new batch of kids, which is just like getting your first session kids.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier because you've done it before, you know what to do, and then you're doing it again. But some of the kids, they already have these friend groups, and it can be a bit weird. Like there can be some bullying sometimes, which is you have to like destroy straight away. Cause,
yeah, I didn't have much of that. I was lucky, I think.
Yeah, there was a couple of kids in my first year which bullied each other. It was like a mutual bullying. Like they both did it to each other. There was no like certain groups against each other. But yeah, the new kids come, and then it's like session 1 again until, as you said, Colour War. Do you want to explain?
Well, I think we'll both have to explain because it's so much that goes on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most camps.
Anticipated.
I'm pretty sure most camps across, like the US, do this Colour War.
Yeah, like most, if not all, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-day event. 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-day event where the camp is split into 2 teams, and that is basically it. It's split into 2 teams for 3 days, and there's so many events. There's sporting events. There's artsy events. There's a 50 event relay. And also spirit. Spirit is basically you chanting and
whoever's
singing
loudest.
for your own team. Whoever's loudest and most annoying wins that point, wins the event. And at the end of Colour War, one team wins. And luckily in the first year, me and Champ were on the same team, and we won first year, which is a great feeling.
Oh, brilliant! It was brilliant. Like you don't jumping back to the first week of camp, you think, oh, I'm not going to be able to like get into this culture. It's so weird. It's so jumpy. It's really cringy. Like I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm just going to sit in the corner. Colour War comes. You're in that spirit. You're in that you're in the culture. You're part of that culture now. So when you win, if you win colour war, if you win, it's a brilliant feeling because 3 days of just non-stop work from everybody in your team, and then confetti goes off and everybody's crying. It's a surreal experience. You can't explain it with words. You have to live it.
Because as you say, it does sound cringy before, and I'm sure it sounds cringy us talking about it if you haven't experienced it yourself. But you do have to experience it. And even if you lose, like, yeah, you get over it. I lost second year. Got over it very quickly.
Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. Got over it. We were all fine. Yeah, so that is... And then at the end of the summer, there's like a talent show and banquet and whatever. That's just a nice little send-off for the kids. So that, I'd say, takes us into second year for the pair of us, because we both had very good summers.
Well, yeah,
we all had to come back for another year.
Yeah, we all left on that final day. Most of us said... Well, a few of us said we were coming back. But some don't, some do, some stick to the word. But yeah, we talked throughout the year. Looking forward to going back.
On the final day.
Did you cry many times? I know you cried at the end.
Well, it wasn't just many times. It was kind of like one continuous.
On that last day? Or throughout camp?
On the last day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I slightly cried. Like I felt myself welling up. But I don't think I cried like I cried in second summer. But yeah. It was sad saying goodbye.
Oh yeah, we'll get back to you crying in second summer in a second. Oh. Well, not in a second. We'll get back into that in a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think that's quite a nice little segue to camp relationships.
Oh yeah.
We won't go into much detail about it.
We'll chat a little bit.
We'll
go into more detail about it later on when we're talking about second summer. But yeah, you form these friendships, bonds, sometimes relationships within camp with obviously opposite sex or same sex or whatever floats your boat. But yeah, it's weird because you're stuck with that person in many ways for the whole summer. And
well, depends who you are. Sometimes it's not the full summer.
Oh yeah, if you get yourself in something serious at camp, it's a very short summer because you're constantly trying to spend time with them. Camp relationships are crazy,
and you
man.
can't. But a lot of people do carry on. Well, not a lot of people. Actually, that's an over-exaggeration. But some people do carry on their little relationships, little things afterwards, and some of them are still going strong till this day.
Yeah,
which is weird.
I like how at camp as well. Yeah, I hope camp don't penalise me for saying this, but trying to find ways to like go to a place just to hang out, just you and her, and it's really hard to find places to go.
Well, actually, you say camp might penalise you, but they do promote it at the beginning. Well, they don't like say, "Oh yeah, do whatever," but they do say, "You know what? It's fine. Just don't
do it near the kids.
Just don't do anything. Just don't do anything in your bunk or somewhere where a kid could see you, because obviously then that's a real issue."
Yeah.
But if you can keep it a secret, keep it in private, then if you're creative, find a way to do it. They just don't care.
It's true. I remember them saying at the start, and everybody was like, he was like, oh, what did Adam say? I think he was.
He was like, so he moved through all these different regulations of like straight.
Oh, I know what I did. I know what he did.
Obviously, he's like, yeah, he's all like, no, you can't do that. And then he's like, sex, and we're all like, oh no, what's he gonna say? He's like, sex is good.
And everyone like, yeah, come on.
We chill.
Everyone was going mental. But
we better hope campers don't listen to this.
Oh god, yeah. The thing is, they sort of know it. Most of them have been camp for a long time. They sort of know what goes on.
One of my 10-year-old ones, I won't mention any names again because they're kids, so I'm not going to mention any of my kids' names. But one of my kids, you'll know who I'm talking about, speaks about it. Not with me, but like I've heard him speak to another kid, not in detail of just
what about
camp relationships, about nothing that goes on, but in terms of counsellors' names of who are together, I've heard him mention it.
Yeah, the kid,
which is crazy
because it's a small bubble.
These kids are smarter than you think.
It's a small bubble camp, so the kids get bored. Oh, they don't get bored, but there's no gossip about like TV or football or anything that's happening outside of camp. So they have to entertain their minds in one way or another, and that's by figuring out what counsellors are doing, because these are the grown-ups. Counsellors are the grown-ups.
We are the grown-ups, which is a strange thought.
And to see them like do something just out of the ordinary of a counsellor, they just love the gossip. They actually love the gossip. So yeah, but kids love gossip, don't they? They just love trying to.
Yeah, so I'd say the only real thing to talk about in camp relationships is that it can happen out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, don't plan for
If
it.
you
Though.
try too hard, no, you can't. If you try too hard and plan for it in advance, saying I'm going to go to camp for the girls, which some people have done, not going to work. Yeah, it happens. That works a little bit, but you're not going to have fun because you're going to be trying too hard to maintain that camp relationship and you lose out on everything else. You don't want to be spending all your time with this girl where you sacrifice that time for spending with your mates that you could potentially have for the rest of your life.
Is that a hit out at me? Is that a slam at me?
That is in no way a slam at you, I can assure you.
It could have been.
Well, if it was, we'd still be talking. We wouldn't be talking now. Like, there are people now who I'm not talking to. But I mean, I wouldn't say it's because of their relationships, but I suppose we could have become closer during camp time, but we didn't because of them spending more times with females or males or whoever.
Very true.
So
yeah.
you just don't want to sacrifice your friendships unnecessarily.
You got to remember, most of the camp relationships are just a camp fling. They literally just happen at camp because you're in such proximity. It's like that TV show Love Island. As soon as they leave that island, they don't care about each other. It's
weird.
It's weird. They do care about each other. That sounds a little bit harsh, but like, the camp is such a small bubble, and once you leave camp and you see the open world again, you sort of forget about them close relationship, and you got to make the most of the people that you're with there. That not obviously not how do I explain it? Not just the girl or the boy that you're seeing, but your friends that you've made there, because their camp friends are a completely different breed than friends from home.
Yeah, it's crazy how different. Like, obviously, I've got my own friends from home, and I've got my own best friends from home, but for some reason, it's just different. It's weird because I haven't known you lot for years. It's almost like a fresh kind of slate, like a clean slate. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's just a different kind of friendship.
Yeah, like anything that you've done in the past, like little bits or bobs that have embarrassed you, completely clean slate when you get to camp. You're getting to know these people. They don't know you. You don't know them. Form new bonds again. But I think that's a brilliant lead on to second year at camp.
Right, so I guess we'll just start at the beginning of it, where straight off the bat I got put in sophomore unit again, so did you, but it was clear to see pretty soon on that you weren't having the best of summers. You weren't.
Oh yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at the start.
Do you want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah. I was, as you said before, that it sort of bounces off camp relationships. The girl I was seeing at the start of camp, I've invested too much like emotion into that girl, and when it come to us being put in units, she got put in a completely different unit than me. I got put in sophomore, which is at the top of the hill, which is about 10-15 minutes walking. I know it doesn't sound long, but in camp it's sort of long from where she,
especially when you're doing it 5 times a day.
Oh yeah, from where she was placed, which was senior unit, which was at the bottom of the hill. And I saw that as like in my head, like I sort of saw that as a slight against me. Like they've moved me away from someone that I really, really like, and it was it sort of knocked me a bit. And then I got told that I might be doing archery, and my summer just went like that. It was going up, and then it just went down for the first session. Because camp's amazing, I can't dislike camp at all, but I just wasn't in the right frame of mind at the start. But
and then you moved to junior unit for the second session, and then things changed, didn't it?
Yes, obviously I had to leave Josh on the hill, sad times. Miss him. He's like a brother to me.
Yeah, I had no one. I had basically no one I had a couple of girls who I was friendly with, but I had no mates, no lads from first year on the hill with me anymore.
Yeah, because it sort of worked out for me and didn't work out for me moving, because I haven't explained this, but I brought friends with me in my second summer. Like I brought 3 close friends from university who like I've known for a long time. I knew 2 of them for 2 years, and then the other one I've known since I was like 11. And I brought them to camp, and I was trying to get them to settle in as well as myself settle in. So there's so many things going on in my head. But when I left sophomore unit and went to J unit, I was with one of my friends from home, and I sort of felt a little bit better because I was there. I was with. It sounds really petty, but I was with him, and he's really easy to speak to. No, this is not a slight on you at all, mate. Like, I love you to bits, but like I just wasn't feeling it on the hill at that time.
Yeah. I mean, no, I mean it's obvious because we didn't spend the same amount of time with each other as we did in first year. Because as we both know, we were both allocated the head council within our bunks, so we had to ensure the smooth running of our own bunks.
A little bit more stress, isn't it?
It's just another thing that separates you from seeing your old mates. So it wasn't a reflection on the pair of us. It's just the way it was that we didn't see each other as much as we'd liked.
So it's a bit. Second summer is a bit. It's completely different than your first summer. I know it's the completely same things that you're doing, same activities, same way the camps run. Obviously, it can change little bits can change year after year, but it's so different. Like you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you got your confidence as well.
You're a returner. You know the Americans. You know most of the kids. You know the leadership.
Yeah, you got your own little feelings towards it. So first year, let's just put confidence on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll talk for myself here. That for year one, my confidence, let's say, started off as a 2 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
And throughout the summer, well, I'd say actually fairly quickly, but it grew and grew and grew until it reached, let's say, a 10 out of 10 for argument's sake. And then for second year, as soon as I returned, because I knew people, I knew what was going on, I had that confidence still. I knew the majority of the people there. My confidence started at a 10, or let's say started at an 8 because of the new people, and it just grew and grew and grew. And it's just a reflection on yourself, whoever it is, because everyone's going to gain confidence, everyone's going to make friends. And there's no real other way to put it other than, I know it's really cringy, but you do make best friends and kind of family-ish. You do feel like family when you're at camp.
It's so different.
It's weird.
Like you can. That's a brilliant way of saying it. Family. It's like your family. It's your second home. Going back to that.
Weird. It's cringy.
If you enjoy it that much, it turns into your second home.
Yeah, you got to make the effort though. You can't just be sitting around complaining. If you're the type of person who's a complainer, if you're a complainer who sits around just saying, "Oh, this is not good. This is boring. I hate this. And yeah, you're gonna have boring moments, but if you just sit around all day complaining how boring it is and how bad of a time you're having, you're going to have a bad time. And you're going to think of it as a negative summer. You can't do that.
You're so right.
You've got to be a positive person. So that happened, your first session kind of thing. Moved to second session. It all worked out well.
Yeah, I had a second session was like being back in first summer. New environment, because it was a different unit.
Okay, can I just say, we'll get more onto this in a second actually. But I've just had a notification on my phone saying the coronavirus lockdown is going to be extended another 3 weeks.
Oh my god! I expected that.
So we'll jump forward to coronavirus in a second and the lockdown. But just to wrap up second year, because of how positive you ended your summer, and same with me, we both agreed to come back next year. I'll explain my job very quickly.
Yeah.
I originally got offered assistant unit head for sophomore unit. And as much as I wanted to do it a little bit, there wasn't enough of a push for me to go because I might have needed to stay home, sort out a job, whatever. So, and then because someone couldn't do their job as freshman unit head, I emailed saying, consider me. Let me know if I can put myself forward, and then we'll go from there. They let me have an interview. They liked it. They liked me. So I signed a contract to be a freshman unit head, which is a double upgrade in job and money, and it was great. And all being well, that's me for third year. What about you?
So yeah, as my second summer wasn't me performing the best capabilities, which I showed in first summer, I didn't get offered anything at the start, and I thought, I don't know if I want to go back now. Like they don't see me for like what I am. They see me as like I've gone downhill. I'm not an adequate. I'm not a strong staff member anymore. But I said to them, they said, "Oh, we'll happily offer you a normal contract again if you want to come back." And I just countered with, "I can't. I'm at my final year of uni. I can't do another summer. There's no point. Like I've got to get a job. There's
You hit him with the Uno reverse.
Yeah, I was like,
got a counter offer in.
I hit him with a no you, and I said, I'd rather have a leadership role as sophomore MC because Josh told me it was up for grabs, and
Yep.
or to be in a unit of my choice because I wanted to have a go of being in senior unit. So they came back to me, said, "Oh yeah, we'll have an interview with you," and it went well, and I got the job, and that's what I'll be doing this summer.
Congratulations.
Fingers crossed. Which leads on to
third year.
Dude,
where
yeah.
all being well.
Is it going to happen?
At the moment,
Is it going to happen?
It's not looking great, especially now, because of the old COVID. Well, I don't think we should delve too deep into COVID because everyone kind of knows their own little bit. We can have a brief discussion on that and then go into
Tell me about that
lockdown.
Tell me about that thing that just got announced then.
Right, so what just got announced is that the lockdown is going to be extended for another 3 weeks. But by the looks of it, there's no harsher. I don't know, but there might not be any harsher measures. So we've got this for another 3 weeks.
That would mean
3 weeks before.
That would mean it's going to end on May the 7th. I predicted May the 6th. So.
But again, it might be extended even more than that. I'm not reading this whole thing because it's such a long article.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows about coronavirus. Everyone knows about COVID-19, how it started.
Living through history.
It came from China. We're living through history right now. I think we can just talk about what to do or what we've been doing during quarantine.
Oh yeah.
Lockdown.
Well, since big old Bozza J announced that we've been in lockdown, everybody was a bit like fried, like, oh, I'm scared. What do I do? I can't leave my house. I'm sort of locked up here. But I'm a university student, so I've had work to do. Granted, I haven't done a lot of it, but it's been a good time to. I feel like it's been a great time to reflect on yourself, like being inside. You can just sort of it's you being with you. There's no one else other than your family, obviously. But I've just been studying, playing a bit of games, catching up with friends. Like this is now is the time when I message people the most. Like you know me, you know I hardly message people. People. No, nobody ever FaceTimes. Well, people try and FaceTime me, but I'm just not up for it most of the time because I'm busy. Like I'm out. But now I'm sort of like rekindling friendships. Well, not rekindling, but like I'm rekindling like that bond we had. Messaging people, cracking on with university work, and hopefully trying to work to camp this summer. But what have you been doing?
Yeah, I mean, you sound like you've been keeping yourself busy, but because I don't go to university, currently have not got a job either. I mean, I did like just before COVID-19 kicked in, which is a shame. But what I do in my days is Disney Plus, Netflix,
Love that.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, I did at the beginning. So the transition between normal life and lockdown was me. I was going to the gym quite a lot because I thought I need to make a difference. I need to do some form of exercise. I need to gain some
bulking
weight.
season.
Bulking season. But then because when you're at home doing nothing, I know it sounds stupid, but you get tired and bored.
Oh yeah, I'm waking up at stupid times now.
Yeah, like you don't have any motivation to do anything. So I've stopped exercising as well. So literally at the moment I'm not doing anything. It's not great. I've now got this to do, which is great. I'm having fun. I'll edit it and whatever. Like this is a great use of my time.
Yeah.
I might do a couple of puzzles. I've got a Simpsons puzzle over there, 500 pieces. It's one of the circular ones, so I'll get going on that at some point. But again, and I've got this for another 3 weeks, at least.
Yeah.
And that, as you said, will lead us to May 7th. Will that, if camp gets delayed and we have to arrive early July, does it give enough time?
Well, the thing is, I think that potentially we could still start at the time where we were supposed to start, because I know for a fact my friend Connor, he's been with us since the start, like he introduced me, I went through it earlier. Last summer he got his American visa on June the 3rd, and we were leaving on June.
Wow.
He went to London on June the 3rd, and that's what he's told me anyway. And we left on June the 9th. So
something like that.
But this also sort of because I heard that Trump's announcing tonight when they're going to reopen. So this could possibly mean that we could go down to the embassy and get our visas because I've heard as well. I don't.
Yeah, but how they can't like even if they open the
It's
embassy,
essential travel.
we still have our own lockdown. We can't use public transport unless it's for an essential journey. Visas are not an essential journey. Like, and think about the amount of people in queues. It's gonna be we can't do it for at least 3 weeks till lockdown is gone.
You're probably right.
But early May to get your visa, that's fine. Especially if camp's delayed a little bit and we start early July. There's still enough time. But again, this is all just providing that it's done by middle of May. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, obviously it depends on like both of our countries. Don't just depend on America. Then again, camp might get cancelled. Like it might not be a fault of our country, like not opening in time. Camp might get cancelled because of their social distancing. Like I know Trump's saying, "Oh, we want to get this place open straight away and bin off social distancing, like as soon as possible, so people can get back to work." But is it possible? Can they do that?
Yes, I'm going to say yes, it is possible, but okay, well, it depends on the time frame. Right now, no, it's not possible because you see the numbers in New York, especially, but the whole of America, and you see the numbers here. To be honest with you, I thought they actually were going to be worse by now, and it's tragic the amount of people that have died. Of course, it is. But
they've plateaued, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Sort of
kind of a little bit. If you see the amount of cases by population, the USA is actually one of the lowest because obviously
how many people are there? Is it like
I don't want to say how many people. 300 million, 400 million people.
No.
Here, let me Google it on my phone quickly. But like if it's by population, the
I know they're considered
USA
all right.
Like
I know New York's bad.
328.2 million people as of last year.
Good.
So
that's good from you.
Yeah, it's good for me. But and because our population is 67 million, which is obviously a lot less, and Italy's is about 60. By population, we're one of the lowest actually in terms of cases. But again, our tests are really low. But then so are the US. The US are, I think, the lowest or one of the lowest. I've seen a graph. So again, it's bad the number of people who've got it, but you can't. What I'm trying to say is you can't compare it country by country. You just can't.
We just gotta hope it sort of works out, don't it?
Yeah, for selfish reasons, by going to America, not because of people's lives.
Yeah, we're so selfish. But
we are, and it's true but sad.
Yeah, like I know Italy and Spain are sorting out their shit right now. I know
Spain are so much worse than I thought as well.
They're much better now though, like than they were a couple of weeks ago.
We say that the other day they had a big increase again, but again that might have just been a little blip.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of that. You're never going to just have a
because the amount of tests going through and coming back, you can't really talk about that. But I think that kind of covers the whole of COVID because you're not going to talk about the beginning to the end.
Everybody already knows. Like we're not scientists as well. We don't know. We don't know everything.
We don't know what we're talking about.
But we just got to hope it sorts out.
Say the only hope we have as a country is if people start listening to the guidelines.
Yeah.
Like we saw a week before lockdown, a few days before lockdown, people still out and about in the club, putting on their stories saying, "Oh, F Corona, F COVID."
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're a moron, mate. You're just a moron for doing it. I actually got really heated. I didn't speak to anyone who did it because, realistically, it's not my place to tell them what to do and what not to do. But it pissed me off so much.
I can understand why. Like it's like going to the park when you're stuck in. People going to the park when you're stuck inside is such like a slap in the face because you're sticking to the rules while everybody else is essentially breaking them. And
it depends.
Annoying.
You can go for walks. You can go for walks and runs around the park like I have done, but I'm never going to go with my whole family and play like cricket.
Oh yeah.
There's a picture of my local park on Facebook, and it was of the police breaking up a family, an extended family, I'd presume, because of how large the family was, playing cricket. And you're just like, what? Why do you think this is the worst parenting? I hate people.
Yeah, I can understand why, mate. But hopefully it's going to look better. I don't know the statistics for today, but we were pretty much hitting the same amount for the past couple of days.
Yeah, I think I looked today and it was a similar amount
Yeah.
today.
What we at, like 4,000 daily cases,
Four to
4,000.
5,000
Yeah.
mainly, yeah.
And then
I'll have
deaths
a look
being
on.
about 600 to 900.
I think it was another within that bracket today. Unless that was just England. Sometimes they don't update the whole thing if it's not the whole of the UK.
Yeah.
So we got fresh new 4.6k takes us over 100,000, and then 861 deaths
Oh
today.
my god.
Yeah, it's not great.
The cases are
But
going down, but the deaths are going up by the looks of it.
yeah, that's 1.3 million people. 1.3 million more people have got tested in Germany compared to us, and they've got 33,000 more cases. So that's over 1 million more tests with only 30,000 more positives. Imagine if we had another million. Who knows? It could be 30k positive. It could be 100k positive. We just don't know.
Do you think you've had it?
Well, I haven't been ill since this whole thing started, but there's been rumours and things of Italy had a couple of cases of coronavirus in February before it all popped off. It was like a couple in February and then nothing for about a month. I was really ill in December time.
Yeah. My parents and my brother got ill as well.
Like but again, I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure it was just like I don't make
We
anyone
don't
else
know,
ill,
that's
so I'd
the
assume.
thing.
No, but I'd assume not because no one around me got ill at the same time with the same symptoms. I'd assume not. I'm not going to get into what I had, but it was pretty gross and it was not pleasant. I had to take about a week, 2 weeks off work, but that was it. It was fine. It was not corona. It can't have been. So we'll just have to wait and see when those antibody tests come out. How many people have actually had it?
I know for a fact. This is why I'm not worried about camp ending in a way, like not ending, like being cancelled. It's a bit, obviously it's hypothetical, but they've got these antibody tests, and and I know Trump said last night, I was listening to his briefing, they've ordered like 3 million antibody tests. So if we were to go to camp, I also read last night that when councillors would get to camp, they would be put in quarantine in the camp of 14 days, which would be
crazy.
Which would be orientation. So, and then when the kids get there, they'd also be tested. Like they test us when we come in, and then they test the kids when they come in. But we wouldn't be allowed to leave the camp for the entire season. Which
it just depends on so many things. Like mental health is a big one. If you have a whole summer long camp and you're not allowed to, obviously you can have your days off, but if you can only spend your days off in your bunk not doing anything, and you can't leave, go town, whatever, it's not great. So we'll have to evaluate, I think, mental health as well within that.
Yeah,
we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's like
We've got to keep it light.
I'm 50-50 with it at the minute.
Dreary.
I'm 50-50.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
like they're working to
we'll just
keep it going ahead. Like the director's working to keep it going ahead, which is fair enough. If they got the right plan and the right way of running it, then fair enough. But
yeah, these next 3 weeks will be very telling.
Yeah, I said to some of my friends and myself that by May, like the 1st of May, or like the first couple of weeks in May, we'd know where we stood. Like if it's still bad, if it's like this, then we're not going. But if it's gone down, I think there's a solid chance.
No, I agree. Yeah, as the next 3 weeks in both countries will be very telling. We'll have to see, but I think if we can kind of end this on a positive note, positive bit of advice, what would you say to anyone listening?
About what?
About just trying to keep your head up during quarantine, lockdown.
Oh yeah. What I would say is try to keep yourself busy. Go for a run. Obviously, don't go out in big groups. Don't go partying with your mates. Play out in the garden. If you've got like a brother or sister who's similar age to you, you can kick around a ball, throw a ball around, chat with your family. Like I'm closer with my family now than I've been for the past 4 years. Get to know them, speak to them. I found out stuff about my family that I haven't talked about or spoke to them about in a very, very long time. Like I've not rekindled, but I've got to know my brother a lot more. And we were just before this podcast started, we were just in the garden kicking around a football, getting to know each other.
Little cutie.
Yeah, it's a cute little thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, try speak to your friends. Try and make yourself not feel lonely. I know it's hard, but speak to people. Try keep your mind entertained. I don't know what else to say on that point because it's hard. It's, you're so right. It's a hard time. What would you say?
I'd say again, I'd have to agree with you. If you're privileged enough to have a garden, go in the garden, see if you can just relax in there, get some fresh air. Obviously, very important. Go for a run, go for a walk. But failing that, because a lot of people just can't be asked to leave the house, which is true for loads. Same with me sometimes. If you can, just try and find an activity to do at home. Like, I'm in the next couple of days going to start painting my room. Actually, I've got horrible blue, light blue and dark blue walls. I'm going to paint it like a greyish, which should be nice. That'll pass. That'll pass a few days worth of the next 3 weeks worth of quarantine, which is great.
I think it will end after 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll just have
optimistic
to
about
see.
it.
We'll have to see. Everyone knew it was coming, so. But again,
Yeah, it's not new news.
what else can you do?
Head up.
If you want to cook family for your dinner, do that. That's again something else to do.
Cook family for your dinner.
Cook, yeah. Cook dinner for your family. Don't cook them because illegal.
Yeah,
But cook dinner for your
obviously.
family, because again, it's just something else to pass another hour by. You don't want to be trapped in your room doing nothing, because I've done that and it does drive you insane a little bit. It's good. It's fine to watch Netflix. If you've got uni work to do that. If you're revising for GCSEs, A levels, whatever, do it. We just somehow try and keep your mind occupied. Otherwise, you just go mad. You can't think about this the whole time because it's not healthy.
Yeah. Head up. That's the main thing. Head up. Keep busy.
Follow the government guidelines.
And stay indoors. What is it? You know the saying.
Oh, what is it? It's stay home, save lives, protect the NHS.
Come down a second.
All right. Yeah, that's the one. Go away. Close the door. Jesus.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
That's a good way to end it.
Should we keep that in?
Yeah. My brother just burst in at the end. Classic.
Yeah, to be fair, on my end, you would have heard like a door slamming and people chatting. I'll try and cut it out. If I can't, then I won't. So that's it. Stay home and stay safe.
Yeah. Protect the NHS.
Protect the NHS. Bojo. Boris Johnson's safe. He's fine. He's discharged from hospital.
Happy days.
Happy days with Boris.
Indeed.
Are we ever going to end this? Yeah, I think we should end it now.
Yeah.
With no more ramblings. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Bye.